everybody, this is Lila'Angelique. I don't really like making videos. That's why I'm not sharing much anymore, because I just don't really enjoy doing it. Because I'm just talking to a camera for a period of time, but sometimes I just want to document how I feel about things, and I think it's significant even just for posterity's sake. And I do it for posterity's sake, because I know nobody's paying attention, it doesn't matter. But something that's been on my mind recently is thinking about how I've grown as a person. And in one of the ways I've grown as a person in a big way has been not caring as much about what people think about me, not hoping that people will like me, not doing things because I think people will approve of me or love me. There's a bird stuck in the house, it's very sad. I spend all of my time every day making art for myself, and it's something that gives me a huge amount of joy. Hi everybody, this is Lila'Angelique. To be honest, I really don't like making videos. I don't really like talking to the camera. It's just, and there's really no reason to do it, because nobody watches things that I share, and it feels like a waste of my time, to be honest, because I have better things to do with my time than sitting and talking to a camera. But sometimes I think about sharing, and there are certain things that are important to me that I'm thinking about, that are on my mind. I just want to show you this piece that I'm working on. Oops. I have this art journal I've been working on for about a year now, or a year and a half. And this piece is based off this. I just made my own surreal press-on nails like last week, and it's kind of based off of that. So I love this. I'm really, it's not finished yet, but this birdie. So, oops. So yeah, I really don't enjoy making videos, making content. That's just not who I am as a person. I'm not a content creator. I'm an artist, and I spend all of my time creating. So sometimes I will make a video here and there and share stuff, because just for posterity's sake, there's a bird stuck in the house, so he can't get out. He's kind of sad. I spend all day, every day creating, all day, painting, composing music with reason, making clothes, making nails, working on different projects, learning new things. And when I do these creative things, I go into a completely different universe, and it makes me so happy. It's the thing that makes me the happiest, is to be creative. Focusing on what's happening in the world, or focusing on anything other than that makes me sad, so I don't. And one of the things that I've learned to let go of that's really helped me grow as a person is not caring about what people think about me anymore, and not needing people's approval in order to be happy. And I think about how throughout my whole life as an adult, from when I was 20, 21, when I met Thoth, to probably only in the last couple of years, is that I would dress up because I wanted people to look at me. I wanted people to see me. I would take hours of time to do a makeup look, or isn't this nice today? I just did this to go to the grocery store. I think it's really pretty. But I would spend hours doing my makeup and my hair and my costuming, because I wanted people to see me, and I wanted people to engage with me, and I wanted people to say something, and I thought something was going to happen. And I know that might sound really stupid, but because I was young when that was happening. I was in my 20s, my early 30s. And of course, that's kind of what you go through when you're young, is you want people's approval, and especially when you're an artist, you kind of think that that's what you need to have in order to survive. And now I don't. It's changed. It's that I don't need anybody's approval, and I don't need anybody's validation. I don't need anybody to tell me that they like me or whatever they feel about me. It doesn't matter to me. What does it matter to me? I don't know why I ever thought it mattered. It confuses me now why I ever thought it did matter. It's a birdie, Mimi. And so, yeah, in the past I would spend hours. I would spend 3 hours a day. I remember being in Lisbon or New York or Barcelona or Amsterdam or something, or San Diego or San Francisco, doing my makeup for 3 hours before a performance, and thinking, people will see this, people will notice the detail and the time that I put into this, and then I'll become famous, then I'll become well known and respected for my expression, and something will happen. But now I know, of course, that the only thing that ever was happening and ever was going to happen was that I was doing it. I was creating the art. I was being something magical, and nothing more was going to happen than that. And that was what was happening, was that I was doing it. I was being fabulous. And what was anybody going to do? Like, put me in a movie or hire me to be, it's like, I don't know, or become our manager, and like, I don't know. It's like, I thought when we were walking the streets of New York dressed and doing the things that we did creatively and musically and expressively, somebody would see us and would like sign us a record deal or put us in a movie or make us famous somehow. I don't know, or I don't know what I thought. It's hard to actually remember what it is I was thinking. And for 15 years, I really did believe that. I thought we were going to be successful and famous and well known and well respected. I thought we'd be like, Cirque du Soleil or Dead Can Dance or Laurie Anderson or some legendary famous avant-garde artists like that, or Bjork, and that you could say that never really happened. It's and I've accepted that, and I am totally able to face reality and say we did this beautiful, beautiful thing out in a parks all over the world, in tunnels. People saw us, they were moved by it, they hated it, they didn't care. They thought we were crazy, they thought we were stupid, they thought we were insane, whatever they thought. It didn't matter what they thought. And we survived somehow, and now we're here, and everything's fine. And I'm continuing to be the same person I was then. I'm just not performing in the way I was before, but I'm working on my art, and I'm being self-expressive, and I'm really happy. And I'd say that I'm happier than I've ever been in my life because I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm not hoping that somebody's going to fucking change my life or do, make my life better. My life is as great as I need it to be. I don't need anything more. I have a home, I have a puppy, I have all my art supplies, I can make art all day long. I have Thoth, he's with me, he's still alive, he's healthy, he's not injured, When we went through this nightmare where he got hurt and he fell off the back of our scooter and had a seizure. It was a nightmare, and he went to the hospital, and I thought he was going to die of a wound infection in his knee, and I had to really face reality that I'm going to end up here alone one of these days. I'm going to have to keep going, and nobody really cares, and nobody's going to be here for me, and that's just life, And so I just feel like I've grown up a lot over the last couple of years, and I don't feel sad about it. I don't feel jaded about it. I don't feel cynical about it. I just feel like that's just the way it is. I was saying for a while that I felt like I didn't even have hope anymore, but I don't think that's true. I don't have hope in regards to anybody else. The hope that I have is connected to my self-expression and my creativity. I have hope and I have belief that I'm going to create beautiful things every day. I wake up in the morning and I feel excited and happy because I go, what am I going to create today? What am I going to draw in my art book? What am I going to paint on canvas? What am I going to, what kind of music am I going to make today? And that's enough for me. And then sometimes I get into these, new hobbies, and I can pursue them and have fun with them, and I really do. And I do understand that because I spent a long time in the public, performing in public, and I've always been this way. I've always been an eccentric freakazoid, and I've never been anything different. And I do remember when we would be out playing in public, playing music in public, and I would always say to myself, I'd say, if we didn't have to do this, we probably wouldn't go out much, would we? We probably would just stay home and draw pictures all day. And that's what's kind of happened, is that now that we don't have to do that anymore, we're just on our own and doing our own thing, and we're building our own universes, and it's really satisfying to me. And I find that I'm the most happy when I'm just creating for me, and I'm not doing it. I think that's why I have trouble making videos, is because I can get into it. I can talk. I have plenty of stuff to talk about. But I think that's the reason I have trouble sharing on social media anymore, is because it becomes something that I'm doing it because then people are supposed to watch it, right? Because if I make it and then nobody watches it, then it can go like, well, what am I doing it for? I'm wasting my time, and what am I, I can say it's archival, I can say it's something I'm expressing my thoughts and my feelings. But my art is archival too, because most likely nobody's going to see this work until I'm dead. And I also feel like I've really accepted that all the dreams that I've had, I had crazy dreams, big dreams for our work, in which I thought we were going to be, having these big, beautiful stage shows and be able to hire casts of wonderful artists that we love and admire, and be able to support a creative community around our work and tour around the world doing our work with a crew and audiences clamoring for us, and be in these big, beautiful venues, or have a venue built for us or something. But now I know that that's not going to happen. Why would that happen? It's like nobody knows who we are. Nobody cares. And I don't say that from a place of bitterness or anger. It's at all. I used to. I used to feel like we were so deserving of the world paying attention and wanting to support us. And maybe we do, but it's like, it's not going to happen. And one would need an amount of money that we probably will never have in order to be able to do those kinds of things, like the kind of money that you would need to do a world tour, and hire a ton of, it's just insurmountably large amounts of money. And then you would need to be making that money back from ticket sales and stuff. And we've done productions of our work, little productions, things here and there, where we would go, that's kind of what we were doing when we were street performing, is we would do these little street performance productions of our work because that was the only way we could do it that made financial sense. It didn't make any sense for us to hire a theater and do promotion and try to get people to come to a show, because nobody would come. Nobody would even, they'd say, who, Tribal Baroque, who are they? Lila'Angelique and Thoth, who are they? What are they? I don't care, We did one thing with James Swanton back in Amsterdam in 2017, and it was a dream for me. It was incredible. It was amazing. I'm so glad we did that. Even though at the time it was like, what the fuck are we doing? This is crazily expensive. This is not working. What are we doing? This is nuts. I don't know if I ever want to do this again. I have no regrets around that, because we got to work with one of my favorite actors of all time, and create an original opera that we got to perform with him, and he wrote a script for it and spoke it out loud, and he was within 5 feet of me while doing so. It was incredible. And we had recordings of it that exist on Bandcamp and that nobody listens to, and people probably only listen to when I die, when both of us are long dead. But I know that it's a brilliant piece of theater, and I loved doing it. it was incredibly stressful to be having paid for the whole thing and flown us there, flown him there, paid him, put him up, fed him, housed him, everything. And then, you know, we kind of were like, oops, we forgot to like promote it. We forgot to actually find spaces to do it in until the very last minute. And somehow we did it and it was fine and we survived. You know, but that's another thing about my life, that I'm very content in my life now. Like, we have this very safe home, very stable. We live in a really we're in a very stable life that's really creative and joyful and quiet and solitary and simple. And in the past, I wouldn't have been so satisfied with it, because I'd be like, well, we have to do the great epic thing. We have to go tour the world, and but we've already done that. You know, we spent 17 years, you know, from 2009 until 2024. So 9, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, 15 years doing that, traveling to places where we could play, where we got to do little gigs, where we got to sometimes do little events, and occasionally, once in a million years, we did a wedding or something. You know, and we got to meet amazing people and do, you know, we did incredible things, and we went everywhere and did it. And even in the last couple of years, Thoth went and did walkabouts around Bali, you know, and he's still remembered for doing that. So, you know, we've done everything, and we could do more, sure, but it's like, why? It'll be the same as everything else. People won't show up. You know, and for me, I no longer feel like I've given up on anything, because giving up would be giving up on me, giving up on my self-expressive creativity. It's that I haven't given up, it's that I've shifted things to be more solitary and more personal and more quiet and more for me. Like, I'm doing all of this for me. I now have 4 albums that I've made with Reason, by myself. I'm almost finished with my 4th one, and they're beautiful, and I'm so proud of them. And I would love more people to listen to them, of course I would. But I know people won't, and it's okay. I don't blame anybody. And you know what? Thoth and I were talking about it the other day, that like, when we were out in the world street performing and doing our performances and doing this thing that was so insanely beautiful and special and precious and magical, there were a few people who were able to really see it in the moment, how special it was. Those people are our friends. People like our friend Nate and Shay and Alana and Argon and Lars and you know, people like that, are friends from Suzanne and Kira and Louie, and these very, very, very special people who were the very few people who were able to really see what we were doing in the moment we were doing it and understand how special it was. But mostly people are only going to know about us having done that, you know, decades from now, probably. Pictures and videos and all this stuff will start showing up at some point, because that's happening to Thoth now. You know, he's 70, he's almost 72, and these videos and pictures and all these things from back 35, 40 years ago of him doing his crazy walkabouts in San Francisco and New York are showing up on the internet, and people are going, you remember this guy? And people go, oh yeah, it's Thoth, it's Thoth, it's Thoth, I love him. I saw him in da 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 da. And he wasn't trying to be legendary, he just was. And for me, I think the thing that was always hard for me is that I always knew what we were doing and are doing now is legendary, but nobody else knows it. And if you say, I know I'm doing something legendary, and it's not considered to be legendary, then people will go, oh, you're just full of yourself, you're just stuck up and nobody cares and fuck you, you know. But I know that it's amazing. But for a long time it would hurt me and it would make me depressed and sad, because I would be like, I know how genius everything we've done and do is, but not very many other people do. But that's the nature of being a, unknown creative freaky genius person like we both are. Uh, that's just the way it is. And nobody, because I've never met anybody else like that, really. Besides maybe one or two other people in my life. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you, oh, if you do something miraculous when you're in your 20s or your 30s, or you make these beautiful, like, etheric, magical solo albums, and, most likely nobody's going to even listen to them until you're dead, And, but for me, that's okay, because I need to make it. And it's not about, for me, it's no longer about trying to get people to like it, or hoping that people will listen to it, even. Because everybody's so distracted, and it's not really an excuse, but, people don't even have time to watch a video of me discussing things, because who knows, nobody knows who I am, they don't care. There's no reason why anybody should care. I care. And the few people that care about me care. And Thoth cares. Like, when I've showed him any of my solo albums, especially the more recent ones, he's lying in bed crying and saying, "This is incredible, you're a genius." And it's like, I know I am, and it's just, but it's like I've just been able to accept the way things are in my life, that maybe, doing large theater production has been something that I've always dreamed of, and I don't even know if that opportunity arose now, that I would be like, yeah, I want to do that, because unless it was something that was going to guarantee that people were actually going to show up and it was going to be worth my time. Because for example, all of the music that we make is music that could be in a theater production. And like Thoth makes this beautiful, beautiful electronic violin music. And it's absolutely music that could be in a show for us. But that's probably never ever gonna happen. And it's most likely it would never happen while he's alive. So, and that's okay. That's just the way it goes in the world. And I think for me, like, facing reality has been hard, because I mean, if anybody ever in the future sees any of my journal entries, it's always me writing about how my dream is so wide and large, and I know it's going to happen, and we're going to have the biggest show in the world, and people are going to love us and come from all over the world to see us. And you never know what's going to happen in life, but I know that I am going to do what I can now while I'm alive, which means now I can dress up every day and be fabulous. I can say hello to everybody I meet. I can be friendly. I can be kind. I can spend as much time as possible painting, drawing, composing music, archiving it as best I can. And you know what? The rest is not in my hands. It's not in my control. And this person that I am now, 38 years old, almost 40, is a person who started out in life with a huge vision, huge, and it's still there, it's still in me, but I have had to butt up against reality so many times. And ironically, now that we're stable and safe, I really have had to really see so clearly that those dreams that I've had most likely are not going to happen. And to be able to look at that in the face really seriously and say, I see this, I know this, I understand this, I accept it, and I'm still going to keep trying. I'm still going to keep creating. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get up every day. I'm going to dress up. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to create costumes. I'm going to do my nails. I'm going to be fabulous every single day, even if nobody sees me, even if it doesn't make any difference in my life, even if I could just lie on the couch and watch videos for the rest of my life and never do anything else. I'm still going to keep trying. I'm going to keep painting. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep trying to evolve as an artist and as a creative person, even if it doesn't matter at all. Even if it's all going to disappear and fade away, you know, I'm going to die, Faust's going to die, everything's going to disappear. It's possible everything that I create will be gone, will go in the trash can when I'm dead. And it's like, I can face that, I can see it so clearly, and it doesn't make me sad. It can sometimes, but that it can just be, that's reality. And I'm gonna do the best I can anyway, because what else can I do? You only live once, and I really do feel like I was put on this earth to create the music that I'm creating, to create the art that I'm creating. And that's the most beautiful thing that I could possibly do with my time. It's not hoping that people will like me. It's not hoping that somebody's gonna give me a record deal or, you know, or put me in a movie like I dreamed of when I was young, or make me famous or whatever. I don't want to be famous. That's another reason why I don't really like making videos, because, and I really like making long form videos so that the people who really are like interested will stick it out and pay attention, which most people won't. It's, you know, I don't want to be famous, because fame takes away your ability to create. You know, when you're famous and you're rich and you're whatever, and you're trotting all over the world, then you don't have time to create anything, because then you have all these people judging you and looking at you and staring at you and stalking you and all this crap. And I don't want that. I just want to create my work. I want to be invisible. I want to live a quiet life. I want to be mysterious, fabulous, alien, freakazoid person from another dimension, that I've come down onto this earth and I bless the planet with my art, and then I disappear into the mist. That's what I want. And I'm happy, and I'm okay with that. And I haven't changed. I've not become like, oh, I'm less dreamy and I'm less visionary. I'm more visionary than I've ever been. My dreams are wider and faster than they've ever been, but they're all here in my head, and they're in my art, and they're in my music. And maybe someday people will notice, but that doesn't have anything fucking do with me whatsoever. And I don't care. I don't care if anybody hears it. I love it. I listen to it. I love listening to my music. I love when Thoughts listens to my music. I love occasionally, once in a million years, when a friend listens to it and says it inspires them. But this is how I've continued to do it, is because I don't care. I don't care if anybody cares about it besides me.